Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vista's class. I want to say thank you to her for having me. My name is Whitney Hart. I'm the owner and operator of Boss Lady Pizza in Boulder. Some of you may know it, some of you may not. It is on University Hill up by the Fox Theater. I want to say thank you to everyone who's been supporting local small businesses over the past 6-7 months, or even if you're just getting back into town. It really means a lot for us during this time. You'll have to forgive me today. I don't know a lot about technology, and this is really my first Zoom recording YouTube class situation, so I'm kind of winging it. Thought it might be more fun that way. Also, I probably don't have the patience or the energy to go back through and edit and piece this together the way that it should be. So if you guys can just bear with me. Today I'm going to do a little presentation. I'll share my screen, have some GIFs for you to look at so you don't get bored. I've got my notes next to me too. So if you see me glancing over, that's what I'm looking at. No real secrets there. But I hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome back to the fall semester. I know it's crazy, but as humans, we adapt well, and that's a great feature about us and a really good quality, and that's why it's good to be an entrepreneur, because we can handle a lot of tough situations. So I'm glad you're in this class. So I'm going to share my screen quick and go through my presentation with you. All right, so you met me. My name's Whitney Hart. I'm the owner-operator of Boss Lady Pizza. I really like this little slide here. What is an entrepreneur? There are many definitions of what an entrepreneur is, all of them right. And so this is just one I happen to like, because it says a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses taking on greater than normal financial risks in order to do so. And then I think the little GIF below sums it up pretty well. The place is on fire, everything is fine. I like this definition of entrepreneur because it includes taking on greater than normal financial risks in order to do so. Speaking from personal experience, anytime that I've felt pressure is almost always related to money. So whether it's responsibility to pay someone back, or responsibility to make money, or to make rent, or to figure out how we're going to pay people during a pandemic, whatever it is that causes stress and makes me feel like a genuine entrepreneur happens to be mostly tied to money. There are small slivers, I would say, that tie to emotions, making sure people are happy, of course, making sure that I'm running a good business, things like that. But those things are a little bit more fulfilling. The money part is definitely the stressful part, especially in the beginning. So that's something to keep in mind. I thought this was fun. Characteristics of an entrepreneur. Me versus Google's definition. So I wanted to show you guys Google's definition, or definitions. Motivated, creative, persuasive. They have a vision. This is really important. Versatile, risk tolerant, flexible, and decisiveness. I will say that I feel like I have all of these things. If you ask my wife, I'm recently married, and I'm definitely the decisive one. I make a decision and I do not look back. So, and I don't know if that was so much a characteristic of me starting out or something I learned as a necessity, but either way, that's who I am for sure now. Motivated, creative, I have vision. I always like to write visions. It's something I've done since I was about 20. I'm 34 now. Always planning out my future. So I really like that. However, I think that Google leaves out some things I wanted to show you guys. Characteristics of me. So one thing I think is great is I think that the organization of this slide and the way that it looks is me as an entrepreneur. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I literally just picked the format, like whatever the font was, whatever the format was in Google, threw it in there. I'm just like, go, go, go. I've got other things to do. So pack my plate too full. This is something I always have done, something I do, something Vista knows now very well. I'm a procrastinator. I'd like to point out that she said September 1st. She knew from working with me last that I needed a deadline. And for me, September 1st, it is 8:35 p.m. I'm recording this lecture. I'm crushing it. I've got hours before midnight. This is going to go out. It's going to get posted. I'm killing it. So I think that's something to note. If you're a procrastinator, you like to keep super busy, you might just need something that really occupies your time, and that might be being an idea machine or an entrepreneur. I don't want or need a lot of sleep. That's not my preference how to spend my time, although once I get it, I'm definitely in a better mood. I use work as an excuse to avoid anything and everything in life. Something kind of interesting about me is I worked full-time in college. I did not necessarily need to. I had help, but I wanted to, and to the detriment of going to my classes and things. I graduated, I did well, I did fine, but I definitely prioritized work and really enjoyed working over just sitting and learning in a classroom. This one's great. I did this last spring when Vista asked me to do this class before. I have 2,150 unread emails currently in my inbox today. Now, the weird thing about that is I cleaned up my email inbox about a month ago because my storage was getting full. So when I went to look at this figure, I thought, again, like, I'm going to crush this. I've totally worked down my emails. I've totally responded and read everything I needed to. I'm doing great. No. If you ask my best friend and office manager, Erin, she's disgusted right now. Last time when I did this, I had 1,681 emails that made everyone cringe. So now you know where everything's at. I'm still going up. Lastly, I truly believe I can do anything, and that scares people who don't think like me. I think this is true. So if you're an entrepreneur and you think you might be wanting to live a life or have a career that is outside of the box, I highly recommend finding a mentor or finding other entrepreneurs to connect with, because not everyone will think like you, and it does become sometimes overwhelming. For instance, in my personal life, I'm cutting back on some of my other work, non-boss lady related things right now to actively pursue more boss lady related things. And that makes my wife nervous. How are you going to have health insurance? You have to get on mine. She feels like she has to have the stable job and keep everything steady. And so I think it's important to note that you're always going to kind of be on your own ship, and that's okay. You can still work in simpatico with other people. This is a good time to introduce my bookkeeper and office manager, Erin. I threw together the slides that what I wanted, and she told me she has a file called branding backgrounds, and she put backgrounds that she thought would match our slides to also match our brand. So, and you can see, because my shirt actually, which she designed, she's awesome, matches that. So I'm kind of the idea person. I will, and I think she would say, we'll get to this, but during COVID, I did have some ideas that literally came to me in the middle of the night, and I would be texting her, emailing her, this is what we need to do. This is how we're going to focus. I need X, Y, Z. And then she kind of takes it and builds it. She makes it happen. So these colors in the background, I love. These are my favorite colors. This is what I want Boss Lady to look like. But do I know how to put that into a format and make it into a, file and all these things? No, I don't. I focus on making really good pizza, making sure the team is happy, making sure we're executing like we need to. And then she really helps with the more rigid stuff. So you can work in simpatico, and we do, but Also, it does scare people who have more limits and live more traditionally. People like us are probably very overwhelming to them. All right, why pizza? Obviously, I'm a huge Lady Gaga fan. I would have, I very much watched the VMAs. I don't know if anyone watched those this past weekend, and she was incredible. I would have updated that, but these are the only gifts I could find on short notice. As you know, I don't spend a lot of time preparing, so I need what's available to me. Why pizza? Pizza's so cool. I mean, your generation is really going through a movement of where pizza is very cool, but pizza's always been cool. It's the food that feeds everybody. It's the American staple. It's pretty much bulletproof economically, knock on wood, and I can share some of our experiences through COVID that have really reiterated that. And number one for me is if you get even a crappy cheap pizza, you love it. If you get a really, really good pizza, you really love it. So pizza's great. You're really not very critical of pizza. So you guys need to get better at that. But I'm not either. It's literally delicious, no matter how it is. I'm a huge fan of Domino's. People are always surprised to hear that. But I think what they do is great. It's consistent. It's fast. I love it. So what we do at Boss Lady is a little different, but I still think we change people's day with pizza. So that's why pizza. Also, economically, it is a high profit margin item. That's why you see so many pizzerias. I think that's very important to share as well. But really, ultimately, you can't go wrong with pizza. So how did I go from slinging pizza to having a business? Look at me. I love this little ad. I had to throw it in here. I subscribe to a magazine called Pizza Magazine Quarterly. It's a huge nerdy thing in the pizza industry. And our cheese company, Grande Cheese, asked me to be in an ad for the pizza magazine. I would definitely say it was like a highlight of my career to be recognized in that way. So give you guys a little bit more of my face. So how did I go from slinging pizza to having a business? What did I want to do when I grow up? That's when I grow up. I get often asked that. I went to UW-Madison. I actually did not go to CU. Fell in love with Colorado after college and met somebody, to be honest, and figured out how do I take what I want to do and do it in Colorado. So that was how I ended up in Boulder. I was actually a real estate agent, was assigned to me, took us all around Denver. I said, that's not it. That's not what I'm looking for. And then I settled on the Hill in Boulder. And I know the Hill is kind of a wild place, but I feel like you get the opportunity to be really immersed in the students and the culture. And I want Boss Lady to be a part of CU and what it means to go to CU. That's my ultimate goal, and we're getting there. And so that's why the location I'm at was good for me. I also graduated with a poli-sci degree. I initially wanted to be a teacher, and hey, come full circle, I've been asked to do this class. It's very exciting. I should look at the camera. That's difficult. So it is sort of all coming together, who I am, what I wanted to do, and how I got there. So a less traditional path to teaching. I say I teach every day. Training, I wanted to be a high school teacher. So ironically, we hire kids fresh out of high school, coming into college. We train them. I've taught people how to talk on the phone. I've taught them how to use a broom. I've taught them life skills. I've taught them how to handle issues that are in and outside of work. I mean, I've done all the teaching. So I really enjoy that aspect of the job. And now I've been asked twice to do this class. I currently do a mentorship for a program, nonprofit in Longmont, and those are areas of where I'd like to grow and do more. So having said that, I just want to say that as an entrepreneur, you do think outside of the box. So if you put me on paper, I did get from point A to point B, but my path looks different and point B looks different than I thought. In high school, no one said, hey, you can be a restaurant owner and you can still instill these life skills or teach people or do these things you want to do. But in a more real level, I can be their friend or I can be their boss and I can say things to them that a teacher can't say. So I think for my personality, it really worked out. So I like to share that story because I think it's encouraging for people who don't know exactly what they want to do right now in life. I also enjoyed being on my feet, working in a fast-paced environment, things like that. So restaurants worked well for me. Share this guy again. Something else here. This. I got into the restaurant business and I said, why are there all dudes? Where are the ladies at? So again, BTS inspired by the VMAs on Sunday, if you watched it. But I wanted to show people that I could be a female in a male's world. I think something we're working on is hiring more people of color. We're working on diversity, equity, and inclusion and what that means at Boss Lady. You know, I always had this grand idea that I was a female, I was killing it. I'm hiring all these women, and I'm also openly out and gay. So we hire a lot of people from the LGBTQ community, and now here everything is brought to light again, and like, here we go. I need to focus on people of color. We need to really up our game in the diversity element at Boss Lady. So that's going to be our focus for this year too, which I have to mention because I think it goes without saying in the times right now how important that is. But having said that, I am a feminist, but I also, when people are mad at me because they've been let go, because they don't work hard, they've called me a man hater. And what I think is funny is that I actually really love men. I think that men and women have this very, very good working dynamic when they can work together in the proper atmosphere and bringing their certain strengths to the table. So I notice myself when I get into a real pickle. I like go to a lot of the guys on staff, and I want that like really confident decision made. Here's what we're gonna do with. Here's how it's gonna go. Block out all the noise. Here you go. And for me, what I'm really good at is foresight. So I think a lot of women are good at foresight, which is like seeing a situation unravel before it happens and saying, you know what, we're going to do X, Y, Z. We're going to do this now because I see this coming. So that's just one way I would say, as these guys continue to hug and fall, that I feel even though feminist, boss lady, excited about women in the restaurant business, I also have to say I have a strong appreciation for how females and males work together to make things better. And I think that's really important. There we go. That was my attempt at technology. So I just want everyone to be proud of me. I was super excited that would happen. Wanted to talk real quick about cash and how to find it and what to do. So I'll go quickly through that. It's not easy. I didn't have any money. I still don't have a ton of money. Still paying off the shop. My 2 lessons: never burn a bridge. First college boyfriend and his wife are my main investors, so I think that's important to know. You never know. So don't burn a bridge personally or professionally. Both are good. And then also set a goal, talk about it, take the steps to getting there. Say that one more time. Set a goal, talk about it, take the steps to getting there. People forget to take the steps at the end to get to where they want to go. And so then they don't create any buy-in on their plan. They say, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. No steps. What are we doing? How are we doing that? What's the goal? What's the game plan? So people want to know those things. I actually moved back to Chicago at some point when I was younger, after college. Told my friend, I want to work with you at your pizza shop. I want to work my way up. I want to be a part of what you're doing, and then I want to make my own. So I did all of that, and in turn, I was able to find investors along the way because I had worked with them. They had seen my work. They had seen me go from step 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and that meant a lot. So that's a really important thing for me to share. What to do when a pandemic or any other inevitable crisis hits. Uh, this is kind of funny. I had to think about it because now we're settled in, but it was really, really terrifying in the beginning, and it still is for a lot of people. I happen to be in pizza, which is fortunately it happens to be bulletproof. I kind of compare it to bars. Usually bars are bulletproof. People like alcohol. When a recession hits, they like to drink, they like to go out, they will spend their last dollar on a beer because it makes them feel better. This is the one situation where it really sucks to be a bar. So I don't take for granted any moment that we are very lucky to have a pizza shop. We were already equipped with delivery and takeout, which I think is really important to note. Erin, office manager, couple years ago, we sent her to training for like Photoshop. She's really well versed. She built our website. So all of these things that we needed in order to pivot right away, she had the tools to do. I had the ideas. I had the here, let's go. I want to do X, Y, Z, and she plugged it in. So we were upping our game with delivery and in-store and online very, very quickly. I say for a pandemic, the 4 Ps: pivot, partner up, pay it forward, tequila. So let's not all act like we didn't drink a lot during the pandemic, or if that's not your thing, whatever else is your vice might have come through during the pandemic. So really quickly, pivot. This could mean anything. You know, this phrase right now in the entrepreneurial realm is getting thrown around constantly. So pivot means all the distilleries, you know, a lot of them started making hand sanitizer. That is a #1 example of how to pivot. Things we did were smaller. We were already equipped for delivery and pickup, but we did make things easier to execute in that manner. So we expanded our delivery zone immediately to more of the Boulder community, because right now we focus on the college community. And yes, we are very lucky to be well supported by them, but it just so happened most of them left in March. So we had to do that. Partner up. We started finding small businesses right away to partner with. Nice Cream Sammy's is a female-owned, dairy-free, vegan, gluten-free dessert brand in Colorado, and we started selling their goods. For a little bit, we started selling goods from another ice cream shop because they were suddenly unable to. So we just started to think of like, we are in business, we're operating, we have the means for delivery, who can we help? So we started partnering right away. Another thing we did was immediately, so me and my office manager, business partner, Erin, we cannot stand third-party delivery systems because of the commissions that they take from small business. We have spent the last few years trying to break free from that. Not everyone was set up how we are. So what we decided immediately was, why don't we offer a delivery service without taking commission? Just take a delivery fee like everyone does. Even we do that as well. It helps with insurance costs and things like that. Why don't we offer that to people on the Hill? So currently we actually run delivery for Chicken on the Hill and the Sink. And so if you order directly with those and you skip the third party, you will actually get one of our drivers. We go to their business and we pick it up. And we did that in order to say, how can we help? And how can we also, it made us better. Our drivers make more tips because they're taking more deliveries. It honestly gave us a little bit of exposure offering the program. So it was a win-win-win, and that's something that we are doing right now too. Pay it forward. I was big on this. I'll give 2 quick examples because I'm running long. One, we partnered with Color Me Mine. They are a local place in Boulder that does like ceramics. You can buy their pottery and you can paint it. They started offering in-home packages. So through a really, really system of irony, I met the owner via text message because I had ordered from them, and I said, what do you guys think if we partnered? And so we partnered with a pizza and pottery program, but instead we allowed them to upcharge and we donate the pizza, because it was important to me that we are still operable, we are doing well, we're surviving, we have to keep giving back. So if you go through Color Me Mine, you can order pottery and a pizza, and actually they get all of that money. And that's something I'm super proud of, because I like to think when we're in that spot one day, people will help us out. The other thing I did small things like giving our employees money. As long as we were open, operable, doing okay, we gave them extra money that we said, okay, here's $100. You have to go spend this in town at a local business. No questions asked. And so that was something that we did for several weeks of quarantine as well, to help try and give back to the economy. So, and then tequila, that just happened often. Cool. So kind of winding it down for you guys, how to be a decent boss right now. I think this is important. I think it's more important than how to find money and things like that right now, because your relationships with your team or the people that you need to support you will ultimately make or break you. I think that's important. So how to be a good business owner. I try and communicate honestly and directly. We've done pay cuts, we've done pay raises, we've done everything, and it's all been very forward, and people know what's going on and they know where the business stands, and I think that's really important. And then understanding that people have more emotions right now than usual, and that's okay. All of us are worried, we're anxious. A lot of your generation has not seen something like this. They haven't seen a recession. People are missing their graduation, they're missing their sporting events, they're on scholarship. There's a lot on everyone's plate. And so I think just that empathy right now, and is something I've always tried to practice, but definitely right now is really important. How to be a helpful consumer right now. So this, I would say, is really important. This message is big for us. Me and Aaron kind of crafted this a lot over COVID. So you want to order direct from any small business that you support. You want to avoid third parties like Grubhub and DoorDash and things like that, unless the business suggests that that's how you order. Most generally, places, especially restaurants, don't have a delivery practice set up, and that's a big undertaking. So if you ask them, what's the best way to order delivery? And they say DoorDash. You say, okay, what's the best way to order takeout? And they say, well, I can take your order right now. You're going to save that restaurant 30%. 30% of your money on your order is going to go to DoorDash or Grubhub. If you order directly on the phone and you take the time to go pick it up, they're going to get 100%. And that means less fees for you. You can put a nice tip on there for the employees and still spend less money, and that restaurant's getting the most money they can get. So that is really important for us to establish and spread that word at this time. The other thing is, if you like a place, write a positive review. Something I did with this class back in the spring was I asked, and I'll ask you guys, just ask yourselves, how many of you, when you go to a new place, you pull up Yelp or you pull up Google and you look for restaurants based on their review rating? Probably a lot. Then I asked the same question, how many of you have actually written a review? And I think I had about 2 hands out of 30. And they said only if it was really bad. So I will say, if you have a good experience and you have the extra time, please take the time, especially right now, to write a review. People now more than ever are visiting places socially distanced, and they're looking for places based on review, based on star rating. So please consider doing that. Alrighty, wrapping it up here. I got one more. Cool stuff and future goals. I mostly just wanted this slide to show you guys the cool shoes that I had made. I surprised Erin for her birthday and got us both custom Boss Lady shoes. I found a girl on Instagram who did it. So that's actually, yes, that's a pizza swoosh. And our little logo, Betty, is on the tongue. Of course, our name. And I am so excited and grateful that I get to do some cool stuff like this now. On the left is my friend on the lake. We sent her stickers. She carries her Boss Lady mug everywhere. On the right is my good friend Liz West. She graduated from the Air Force Academy and started her very own elite female racing triathlon team in Colorado. They're called the Vixens. They're incredible, and we are one of their main sponsors, and my logo's on the sleeve, which I love so much. So I really just wanted to show you guys that. My future goals are the same as they were in March, because like everyone, I was mostly on pause, figuring out if we were gonna make it, what was gonna happen. So I'd like to grow Boss Lady, and that's my main goal. I have some personal goals to grow my own education and do some things there, but mostly I see that we can weather some storms, and we're hoping to at least do one or two more locations and give the people who work for us some more opportunity. So, all right, that is it for me today. I hope you guys are somewhat entertained, and I want to say thank you again for all the support. CU has been incredible to us during this time. I think a lot of people are scared to be entrepreneurs right now. I say there's no time better than the present. Things are changing. The ideas of how we work, how we live, how we eat, how we shop, how we socialize are all changing. So if you are somebody with a good idea, I feel like now's your time. So I want to say thank you again to Vista, and I hope you guys could bear with me with the Zoom meeting, and I will gladly see you around this fall. And take care.